Hello everybody, welcome to episode 6 of Neyyah. Right, very quickly, I mucked up the recording on this one, like, completely. As in, I recorded everything, and then realised afterwards that I wasn't recording my mic, I was only recording the in-game audio. So, I'm ad-libbing this entire thing. I updated to Windows 11, mucked up the settings, you know, whatever, it happens. Shouldn't happen again though, because I've recorded a lot since and I've not had a problem. So, there's going to be a weird cut, because I'm going to skip ahead, because there's about 25 minutes here, where I went back and re-recorded something, completely fresh, which was me reading the diaries, the journals in this room. So, if you've watched episode 5.5, then you know you've seen what's about to happen. If you haven't, it'll probably be unlisted, but it will be in the playlist, so go there. Have fun, and I'll see you in a minute. Right, we're back. We've read everything. I'm going to go through this door and then go for a walk, because I decided the best thing for me to do at this point was to leave this area. Because I'd kind of gone round everywhere in the last episode, right? So I didn't really have anywhere else to explore, at least nowhere that I remember. Anyway, and obviously I've done all the reading, so I've learnt a lot of stuff. Now, I do wonder about that tower, which I think is one of the Volk towers, if I remember rightly. But basically, yeah, I'm heading off out of here. This dubbing is going to be very all over the place, because I do not know what my thought process was at the time of recording this. I do not know where I was going with any of it. But we make do, we keep pushing forward. But yeah, I head back into the hub area, and I think I remember rightly, I start looking at all the towers, right? Because there's 4 portals around here, there's 4 towers. We've been through the blue one, which obviously is the one we just came out of. And I think the other one we came out of was the red. It was either the red or the yellow. I'm trying to remember which one was opposite, because we skipped past one and went straight to this one because it had the thing next to it. And basically, the red one. There you go. We can see the yellow one there. So I decide to go on a little bit of a wander, all the way back to. I say all the way back. I think I go round to the yellow one, if I remember rightly. And, or do I go all the way around to the red one first? I don't actually remember. It's been a while. I don't actually remember everything I did, because I recorded this, like, a week. So I recorded this on the 25th of October. It is currently the 2nd November, so it was literally an entire week ago. But yeah, obviously, we were putting we went up that tower and we put a Paida in it. So I'm wondering if there are more towers for me to put Paidas in, because I feel like we're using them to power stuff on, so whatever. We go to the yellow one. Now, the yellow one is kind of interesting because it takes us back to the Ghalahanti mines, back where we first started, where we first came in. So that's where that one links. I'm trying to remember if I've been through the green one yet, and I don't think I have. So I still need to do that next time. But, welcome back to the Ghalahanti mines. Now we're here. I don't remember on which point in this I realised this, but we are trying to get to the office, right? That's why we went into his office in the old place with the. I can't remember what it is now. That place that had the broken portal and the minecart track we couldn't use. The broken portal, broken minecart track, you know, that bit. Went in there because we were looking for a key to his office. His office is here in the Ghalahanti mines, and we have now got the spare key in our inventory. So we now have access to areas here that we didn't have access to before. However, I don't remember it. It takes me a little minute to remember this and realise. So I kind of do some more exploring inside the mines, seeing if there's anywhere we can go, right? Because I'm wondering, because we tried to come back here before, if I remember rightly, and I couldn't, because everything had sort of locked itself down. And I think I wanted to come back here because I realised I'd gotten the key or something. Maybe, I don't quite remember. You know better than I do, because you've got the videos to look at, and I don't massively have an interest in rewatching all of my videos through again. It's probably going to be worth me rewatching some of the Neyyah ones though, just due to the fact that there's going to be stuff I'm going to forget, even though I'm writing stuff down, because I might miss something, and that might help. But I don't tend to watch a lot of my videos back. I've watched a few of them to see if I got the audio balance right, which I think I have. Oh yes, I did some translating. That I did do. I'm going to have to redo all that then, because I don't remember what it was. I remember. That says, I remember rightly, that says Shaft 3, if I remember correctly. S-H-A, yeah. That says Shaft 3. So obviously the weird crook question mark symbol at the end is the number 3. And so there we have it. That is the number 3. And I think technically it says Raft 3 because there's a typo. That first symbol, which is the up arrow with 5 dots, I think is technically supposed to be the up arrow with 6. But it is missing one. But it's supposed, as far as I can work out, it's supposed to say Shaft 3. See, I am remembering stuff that I did last time. It's slowly coming back to me. Well, I don't know how long this took me to translate, and I'm hoping it wasn't too much longer, because this staring at this screen with nothing happening has been quite boring, even for me, and it must be even more so for you. I suppose I've at least got the idea of... Like, the idea? What am I saying? My English has literally left me today. Like, absolutely, completely left me. Sorry, I was reading something. I opened up my notepad that I'd written some of the stuff in this for, and I found something that is completely incomprehensible to me that I wrote years ago, and I'm trying to work out what the hell it was. But that's what happens, isn't it? You go back to like an old notepad that you haven't used in forever, and you'll find writing in it that you're like, what was I writing? None of this makes sense. I seem to have finished. Right, yeah, so that's just Shaft 3. I once again decide to turn on the taps because I can. Nothing really happens. Quite a shame, really. No water physics there. But yeah, we are in the Ghalahanti mines, and then I think this is the point I notice... the old mine gateway, yeah, that's where we are. And I think this is the point I notice the word office. And I go, oh, I haven't been that way, like up there. So I go, oh, we haven't been that way. And then I go that way. And then realizing it's an office, I realize I've gotten the spare key. And I can actually go through there. So I think we're going to get into some new content now that isn't just me staring at a symbol trying to translate it. Yes, very picturesque image. Yeah, down there. Because we haven't been that way yet. Which I'm opening the map again. Like... I'm saying where we are? What am I... Mate, I don't know what I'm doing. I am completely as lost as you are. It's great watching a video back and then having to sort of work out what you were doing the entire time. I've got another 40 minutes of this, Jesus. This is going to take me a while. Hopefully there's some bits I can cut out because I'm just doing nothing for a bit. Yeah, I know the video hasn't been that long, but that's the bit I've had to cut out that was me reading the text that got lost. So, yeah, there we go, because I think I've only been recording this for about 10 minutes, yep. That's what Audacity says, anyway. But yeah, I find the path down to here. There's a blue door up in the corner, which I do spot, but I want to go in the office first, because this feels slightly, this felt like a little more out of the way, like I could keep going that way. And then I think I remember I have the spare key sat in my inventory in... Yep, there we go. Hey, look, it works. We've now opened the office. Which means we can get back into the office of our dear friend. I cannot remember his name because I'm not playing the game right now. Wow, my memory is terrible. Right. So, here we learn something. Interesting results with the new spore processing unit. Earn test performed wonders with speeding up the procedure. However, there's a couple of things to note. If I leave the spore in the tray for too long without turning on the unit, it will start to wither very quickly. Perhaps a reaction to the metal of the tray. Also, once the unit is finished processing the spore, they come out a lot more blue in colour than they used to. I'm glad Orion will never have to set her eyes on these. I doubt she would look favourably upon them at all. I'm wondering if these units will be installed at the spore docks anytime soon. Perhaps Smolax has a new use for the spores. I just about read that in time. Oh, dear Vermeer Dahili, thanks for your detailed list requirements for the new PSF reader system from Grey Mountain Systems. We've assembled a new PSF reader system, which we hope satisfies your needs. You will find that the readings are much more accurate than previous models. Please understand that we are also aware of Paida energies decreasing after transit to various Neyyah sites. Inform us if you're experiencing any such difficulties on Neyyah Site 28. We are hoping to improve our models with an energy booster function within the near future. Please contact us if if you require any spare components. Thanks for using Grey Mountain Systems. Moyard Henley, Service Manager. Yeah, we have here a PSF reader. Now, every time I push one of these buttons, I get a PSF reading for a yellow, a green, a blue, and a red. I have written these down because I believe these may be of importance at some point in time. They may be completely useless, but it appears to be yellow is the lowest, then green, then blue, and then red being the highest, right? And all of them are separated by a good, like, I think the smallest gap between the two is 80, and that's yellow and green, being 242 to 320. Then it's 140 between green and blue, which is 320 to 460. And then 120 from blue to red, which is 460 to 584. Now, there are decimal points on there that I have written down, because I might need the actual I'm guessing they're frequencies, which I might need for a puzzle at some point. I don't know how much backtracking this game is going to expect me to do yet, because I still haven't gotten that deep into it. But this is me writing them down. That's what this is, because that's what I do, apparently. So this is another little boring bit where not much really happens, but there's no point me cutting it out, really, because it's not very long. Oh yeah, and I do apologise if I talk a bit quickly when I'm doing the reading, because I don't know what rate I was reading them originally, so I don't know how long the text is going to be on my screen, and I'm trying to sort of keep it in line. If I have to pause my bit to keep reading it, I will, but obviously it will throw the video a little off, and I'm trying to avoid that. So that's where we're going. Am I going to remember I need to leave yet? Yep. Cool. Now, there are some things that I think the next thing I do is I interact with the big spinny, yes. And look, it's one of those spores. It's a processed one. And I also then realise there's an unprocessed one there, a full spore. And then I think the next thing I do is I notice the one sat on the withered spore sat on the desk. I think's the next thing I do. Oh no, I try and put the full spore in them thing. Yeah, that won't work. But I think I noticed, yeah, the withered one on this. I can pick up all three. Now, that's interesting to me because I'm clearly going to have to use them at some point. What else have we got in this room? Fireplace, I believe that is. That's what it appears to look like anyway. We got some drawers. Oh yes, the salt required here. I've finally done it. The changes I've made to the Miorda gas portal at the Lodvik Tower now enable the user to teleport directly to the secret portal. Yay, and we have a symbol here, which is an eye octopus prion virus. Prion? Virus looking thing with 4 legs, yes. That's all there is in here. There is nothing else. I'm looking at nothing to try and discover more things that may be hiding, but you know, that's kind of the nature of this game, and these types of games in general. You know, you're sort of looking around trying to find more stuff. Yes, there's another note in this cupboard, and a pipe I can't pick up. Vermeer, I hope this new camera system finds you well. Second one to malfunction within a week. I have checked and rechecked all core components and can see nothing wrong with this new system. Set it up at Falitsu Island when you can. All other cameras seem operational, so long as the camera power system at the Scarlidi Towers doesn't bust a fuse. Smolax's desire to occupy vast areas of Fazaltian ruin has led to a fair few problems with disruptive system signals, but everything in one place would be my way forward. Nonetheless, Smolax gets the last say, and I'm not too sure if it's very wise to keep using the Fazaltian symbols for the transportation tower console lock screens. Best keep everything Olajarian if I were you. Come on, you going to turn the screen? Yep. No? Especially with getting so close now. I'm assuming you've... Oh yeah, the text doesn't quite line up there properly. Especially with getting so close now. I'm assuming you've read over my instructions on setting up the bunker at Panova Point. Make sure to keep those notes in a safe place. There should be an update within the next few days for both transportation tower systems. Keep me informed on how you get on with the new camera system setup. Speak soon, Unter. Now, Interesting enough, I think there was what looked like an arrow saying there was a third page there, and I don't think I clicked on it, which is interesting. I might have actually go back and double check that one. But yeah, as I was saying a thing, yeah, especially it goes especially with getting so close now, which feels like there's a name missing. Hey, look, it's a wooden cat, dog thing, lamp. Which craft and craft assembly plates sees that launch tests for the Golor craft have proven very successful. These crafts are only going to strengthen the Fazoltian defences, with emergency transport zones being marked for various points of Neyyah. I have managed to set plans in motion for the Golor crafts to be mounted on top of various watchtowers, the current focus being the harbour of Fulitsu Island. More detailed plans for Galorfiak mines will be sent out to you shortly. Stay safe, a name beginning with K. Couldn't catch that last bit. Yes, it's a photo of a tower. Dear Carol, I finally got round to finishing off this little darling. Hayam would mention numerous times that you have a fondness for Malavia cats, so I thought I'd make you one. I've named her Shanda, as I hope she brings you light and warmth to your night shifts out at Gorfliak. This Philidium would not be as safe as it is now if it weren't for your efforts to maintain the security of our people. Fazolta salutes you. Bellica. I do apologise, it appears I was talking a bit quickly there. I might need to drink some liquid. My liquid of choice today is Coca-Cola Lime, the full fat version. Yes, managed to. This I believe we have read before, or something similar to it. It's saying, here's some evacuation points. Go here if something goes wrong. Yeah, sorry, I do need to actually have a drink because my throat's starting to... I'm talking a bit too much, a bit too quickly because I'm trying to keep up with myself. And I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm not really getting the chance to breathe I'd normally get when I'm recording, you know, and as we go. There is something in there. Come on, pick it up. There it is. Oh god. It's finally done. After a few attempts and studying the previously isolated portal-based teleportations of sizable landmasses, I've managed to bring the old factory guard tower from the Golorfiak mines to a safe and secure zone, undetected seemingly by Snorlax, a classified location. The machines here on Ula J are incredible. To think that the Volk what the Volk machines once capable of separating Neyah's world across Fairmore, now replicated by the flick of a few switches on a land floating high above in the clouds. The Velatron Temple should serve as a perfect safe place to gain access to the old factory guard tower. Components are ready to start building the portal there. Snorlax will only come to believe the tower has fallen, swallowed up by the ocean. And after all, that's all any Fazoltian structure really means to you, right, Snorlax? God, I read that a bit too quickly there, I think. Give me a chance to drink, though. A twisted mess, a corpse, shaped by the greed of its creators. Remain distracted by your greed, by the toxic lull of the Ronaldo Temple. For now, I can rest assured that vital information and components to my ongoing work are in a safe place. The computer system used to lower the Neyyah will be one of the few devices I'll make sure to set up here. And my Talavia, my beautiful Talavia, this changes everything. Now I won't have to feel so anxious about receiving video messages from you here on Neyyah. The old factory guard tower will serve as a much more secure and safe place than this old guard station or my office at the Paida factory. Yet I remain troubled by this act. Is it right to have stolen something from Fazolta to create more wrongs in a world which I'm striving so hard to correct? Am I just as destructive, as selfish as him? Is it too late to? No. I can't seep into such darkness. Not now. Not when I'm so close. Sacrifices need to be made. Changes to Neyyah's landscape have already befallen such terrible loss. I can't afford to add to this tragedy anymore. Perhaps once the Fazoltians have returned, once I have formed the Quilivian, I can return the factory guard tower to its rightful place. It's a shame I can't say the same for so many other places here on Neyyah. And Unter has told us, well done, he enjoys the view. Yeah, so apparently we're going to the old guard tower. Wherever I need to double check because my brain has not retained any of that information upon reading it that quickly. But the old guard tower's been transported, and that's where we need to go next, because that's going to be the more secure, like, lab than the office here at the mines or in the Paida factory. So that's the plan next, I believe. But for now, we're heading on out, and I believe we're heading up to the shiny blue door that's up on the cliff. I think that's our next location. Yes, it is. Although I think I turn around to make sure that is the path. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, there's a few, like, hidden, like, balconies and stuff, interestingly. But if we come over here, we find a blue shimmery door, which is one of those force fieldy things. But it turns out that spare key we got for the office also works here to open the door. And I also make the rediscovery that when you use an item, it gets added to the end of your inventory list, which I don't know if I discovered already, or if I and forgotten about, or whether I hadn't actually noticed yet. But yeah, we're going on to the other side of Ghalahanti Mines, the bit of it we weren't able to get into previously. It's the bit that was completely locked off to us. I think I'm looking for wildlife, because I think I'm looking for, like, birds and stuff. Seeing there's any lying around. There is a lookout post up there that I don't think we can get to. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll work it out as we go along. Right, and here we find another entrance into the mines, apparently. There's weird posts there. I don't know if they're for telescopes or what, but they kind of... they don't look like it. But once again, we're heading deep underground, back into the mines, and oh my god, there's bugs! Ah! I think was my reaction at the time. Very dramatic, I know. Welcome to an elevator and some doors. Now, I look at the map, and it turns out we've got a new map for the beach, which we can now see that's the bit we were just at. And that's why I know there's an old lookout, and there's like a cliff entrance, stuff like that. There's the vault tower, yeah. But we're not on this map either. We're somewhere off into the, well, what would be the top right corner of this image, as my cursor is now showing. We are somewhere around that backside, which we don't have a map for. But we don't really need one. Not really, luckily. Because this area is mostly straightforward. So, we have 2 rooms here with text above them. Now, I'm probably going to cut out what this, the actual long wind of the long wind of me trying to translate this. But I will tell you what it says, because I do remember. This says, if I remember correctly, Sedation Chamber 2. Now, knowing that this says Sedation Chamber 2 does lead me to a slightly different point. If I can... There we go. Because on the other side, there is a message that says Sedation Chamber. And it's a number we haven't seen before. Now, based on the fact it says Sedation Chamber 2 on the other side, I make the inference that that symbol means 1. That we have finally found what the number 1 looks like, which actually makes sense, because if you look at the number 10, as we've written it down, it is that symbol with a big black dot to the right-hand side of it. So, my insinuation is for, like, the 10s, 10, 20, 30, whatever, it is just the symbol for 1, 2, 3 with a big black dot to the side of it. Now, I don't know if 2 black dots mean 100. I don't know, but I think you know, I think so far that's my assumption of how the numbering system works. Yeah, and I'm not sure what I'm cutting out of this yet, because I haven't actually done the edit, so I'm not sure. Hopefully I'm not cutting out random, I'm not like running really weirdly ahead with my audio on this one, or behind, or whatever. Let me see if I can skip through to a point where I'm not looking at the door. Yeah, right, so, now the other thing is, door 2, I could not open. It was broken. Door 1, however, I can open. So we head into Sedation Chamber 1. Which has a big scary chair in the middle of the room. That seems to have like an electroshock helmet attached to it, because it looks like an executioner's chair. The fact it looks like there's space for 4 arms is slightly disconcerting, and I don't want that big spike jammed into my neck, skull, or anywhere really, because it's quite scary and big. I know, I'm very dramatic. I'm a wonderful storyteller. But yeah, big, weird electrocution chair thing in the middle of the room. But if we go around the edge, there is a little inlet over here that we can look into with some instructions in it, actually. Ghalahanti Mines, emergency exit procedure. Pull lever back to close gate. The closed gate will give you temporary protection for an escaped Lipolite. Allow yourself, arm yourself with the table gun. Taluk gun. Shoot them with Taluk gun, and there's a hatch to enter the emergency chamber. That's kind of all we need to know. Yeah, the gun is on the wall. We can't use it, annoyingly, as per usual. But if we look to the side, there is lever. However, the lever doesn't shut the door anymore. It kind of just tries and then gives up. It's just slightly disappointing. I'd like to be able to lock myself in here. Oh yeah, more... here, look. So, Sedation Chamber 1. Step 1. Hive generator. Power intensity adjusts automatically to the severity of the patient's condition. 2. May order gas sprinkler system. Use emergency sprinkler button at the chamber entrance to activate sprinklers in case of emergency. 3. Fuel cables. Underlying pipe system in the chamber contains may order gas. Upon activation, these cables will take gas to hive generator and disperse from sprinklers. 4. Sedation tubes. Once patient is securely in place, the helmet system will detect the condition of the infection and the sedation tubes will react accordingly. 5. Helmet system. Lights indicate a helmet is activated. Ghalahanti metal responds to an increase in temperature, beginning the reversal process. 6. The chair. Wrist and ankle cuffs secure patient to chair during reversal process. I think, and this piece of paper is what confirms to me what the number 1 is, because obviously we can now definitively see it's saying step 1, 2, because we had 2, 3, 4, and 5, so we can see this is, you know, step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But what we also have here that we didn't have before was number 6, which is the which obviously is where the chair is. Now, based upon that, we actually now have all of the numbers 1 to 10. I'm just double checking I was right with that. Yeah, because I do have 4 written. Oh yeah, we get access to 4 here as well. Because I don't think we had 4 either. So we get 4, 6. We get 4 and 6. Oh, actually, no, we are still missing a number. 9. We have 1 through 8 now, and we have 10, but we don't have a 9. That is the one number we're missing. Now, I spend a bit of time here rewriting out the numbers because I'm writing them out underneath the alphabet. Because it's far easier for me to view them all together on that, like, alphabets page that I created than it is to keep flipping between, like, 2, 3 different pages, which is what it would become to write down all the numbers properly, because they would took up... I do still, obviously, and we have the names for the numbers, like Philidian is 1, Peter is 2, Shrine is 3, Levitation is 4, Peoltish is 5, but what I'm starting to think is, I don't know if those are the actual names of the numbers, or whether those were specific instructions related to it, you know? Like, that was the... Because we found them in, like, a weird power station-y thing, didn't we? And I still don't know if those words are actually the names of the numbers in the language, or whether there's something else. So, I'm not really sure. Hopefully Okay, I'm probably going to skip ahead a little bit here in the video again, because this is taking me some time. I just need to figure out when it is I stop staring at this one screen. Ah, here we go. Yeah, so we should be coming to have a look at the next piece of paper now. That one? No, not that one. Apparently I'm just going to back out and then look at the hatch on the wall. And then realise it's a tunnel, and then go look at back some more paper. Stages of elliptoid infection / transformation. The early infection phase. Blisters may begin to spread across arms and legs from infected area. Slight alteration in eye colour. Infection reversal 1 to 2 days. 1 helmet required. Middle infection phase. Changes in facial structure will begin on left side of face. Full tentacle growth across back and side of head. Infection reversal 4 to 5 days. 2 to 3 helmets required. Final infection. Complete bone structure transformation. Full tentacle growth across back and sides of head. Infection reversal impossible. High possibility of facility breach. Evacuation imminent. Which, honestly, I read that and I start thinking it sounds like some kind of weird SCP thing. But, hey-oh. Now, the helmet system needs to be maintained at least once a week, while each helmet must be checked daily for any damage sustained during the reversal process. The needle on the tube injects sedation serum and detects patient's condition. Interesting. Patient needs to be fastened into his chair before the sedation process begins. The extended armrests and cuffs are used during later reversal process. Okay, so there you go. That's why there's 2 sets of armrests. It's for later on, apparently. But yeah, through the hatch in the wall, we now go into what is essentially the emergency shelter for if an evacuation event happens. You come in here. Yeah, we can't get out. The door's locked. There's not loads in here, to be perfectly honest. Not absolutely loads. I'm trying to remember if this is where... However, we do find a knife. I did forget about that. And, oh yeah, this thing. Whatever that thing is. The canister. There's a couple of random items I start picking up around here, but I have no idea what most of them do. Oh yes, Vermeer, apologies for the delay. The new key for the lever system at Scarlatti Towers is ready. You'll find it enclosed within this letter. I hope you managed to set up the new lever system without too much difficulty. Make sure that the lever is set to the highest notch. Hopefully the extra boost in power will enable the pump system to work more effectively. I calculated with the new strength of the pumps, the rising water levels of Scarlatti Towers will reach the boiler much quicker. Considering the importance of the Scarlatti Towers, I do suggest we recalculate the strength of the plasma orbs for the Ghalahanti crystals there. Perhaps I can conduct some experiments next week. Nighttime would be best. That's if Zeely hasn't already got plans to watch more Kalis flies dancing in the garden. This warm weather has brought countless hordes of the things to shroud the evening skies with a light show of intense purples and blues. It's quite remarkable. Not a little distracting. Zeely is growing up so fast and becoming more fascinated by what this world has to offer. See Zeely being child, son, daughter, we don't know. Perhaps your ideas on the Fazoltians aren't so ridiculous. There may still be time. Please don't hesitate to reach out if you require any more assistance. Take care, Unter. Yep, and we now have a key for the Scarlatti Towers. So we sort of have an idea of where we're going next. It's towards the, the Scarlatti Towers, if we can find them. Oh, I'd forgotten about these. Yeah, and we find a purple and red crystal. Now, I don't know if you remember when we first landed on Neyyah in that entrance welcome zone. There was that little weird camera that was across from a set of 2 crystals with one missing in the middle. I think those have something to do with that system, but I don't know yet, considering they're not blue, so I couldn't tell you. Emergency exits, travel down the corridor, go down to beach. Corridor is blocked, that's what that door is. I can look down it. I can't really see anything, there's not really much I can do. Luckily, however, there is another way out. But it's not here, I've got to go somewhere else to get there. We'll find that in a minute. Spoilers, I know, but I'm trying to find things to talk about, so this video isn't just gameplay with no speaking over it. And me rambling is probably better. I don't know. Comment below if anything like this happens again. If you'd rather the gameplay without me rambling over the top of it, whether you prefer this sort of rambly ad-lib dubbing of commentary, or whether you prefer something sort of like a mix between the two. I don't know. Talk about what's going on, but leave the gameplay to speak when I have nothing to say instead of just rambling. But I'll let you guys be the judge of that. Now, I do just double check before I go up the elevator if there's another door, or at least I think I remember the other door exists, something like that. We go through it and press the button. I can't remember where this one leads. I think... Right. This is the other way to the beach. So the ladder is, I think, slightly up. And back there, I think I can see it. Yeah, there you go. That ladder up there, that's where the escape tunnel comes out from that little room that we couldn't use. So we just came out a different route. Interesting, that means if we get trapped in that room for whatever reason, we can't leave. But I'm guessing we won't, because the ladder's broken, so I don't know how we'd get back down, or maybe it's to stop you climbing up there. Could be a one-way jump somewhere later in the game. I don't know if this game's that action-packed. No, maybe we'll find an Ellipolite. Yeah, we got a beach to wander around in, and I cannot remember for the life of me what we discover here. Oh, right, there's this button, which is attached to this table, is clearly trying to do something, but doesn't actually do anything. And I think I pressed the button a few times. And that is a symbol for one of the Volk towers, so we know where sort of know what symbol that is. But yeah, I really should write down which symbol goes where. That'd be really useful for navigation later on. Because it's a copy of the symbol for here, but doesn't really do anything. And if I remember rightly, besides the big stone head sticking out the wall where, down that staircase we walked down earlier to get here, I can't go any further. That is the end of the beach. There is not much here at all. In fact, I don't think I find anything here at the moment. I was thinking maybe I could walk round to the Volk Tower, across the rocks and around the beach, but I can't do that. So the only place left to go now is the elevator in the middle of the room, and this is where things start to get a bit more. What's the word I'm looking for? Not loopy's not right. this is an elevator, and I'm going to leave it at that because I can't think of words right this second. Yeah, we can keep going up, by the way. I don't yet, because I wander along here, and, you know that door we couldn't get through at the very beginning of this, at the other end of the Ghalahanti mines, across the old bridge? Well, that was the door. So we now have access to a tower, quite clearly. And if we go up the lift again, and I forget how loud this is in editing, like, really loud. I think I need to crank down the audio a little more. We're up at one of these towers that we can put a paida in. And this one is the diagonal left #1 button. I don't know. Whatever one that is. I nearly put the wrong one in, then I remember the triangle in the background is different. So I clicked the right one. Yeah. Because that's the mistake we made. And we power up another Neyyah site screen, which I'm now going to go look at, I'm pretty sure. I can't remember what this one says. We're about to find out. At least I think that's what we're looking at. Or did I click on the wrong bit? Oh no, there we go. It's another one of these weird computer terminals. And this one is, yeah, camera signal required. Great, this one says nothing because none of the cameras work. Yeah, another transportation tower thing. I'm wondering if we need to turn all of these on before, like, they'll kick in, or whether there's multiple ones of these. Like, maybe at alternative ends. I don't know, because it says transportation tower, so I'm like, is this room a teleporter? Those things look like those spores we picked up, kind of. That's what I was looking at there, in case you were wondering. So there's some random bits of this that are sticking in my memory for one reason or another. Sorry, Full Fat Coke is just like this Achilles heel of mine. I love the stuff. And finding Full Fat Coke that's actually flavoured, at least where I am, is kind of difficult. I never see it in the shops. So I kind of bought a load of it when I found it. But yeah, look, we're inside the cliffs again. We're at that where that signal tower marker is. That's where we are. And then we're gonna come back out the old mine gateway. Is it the old mine gateway or is it gate to bridge? I think it's gate to bridge we come out. I can't remember. It's one of the two. I think I'm talking about going to have a look at the Ghalahanti hangar again. Because now that's the thing we can have a look at. Try the bucket again. The lever still doesn't work. It's clearly supposed to make the bucket go up and down, but nothing really happens. Well, the good news is we're not too far off of the end of this episode. Only about, I think, 4 or 5 more minutes we got left. Yeah, I look at this again. Right. Oh, this is the thing. See that says shafts? That is a 2 and then a 7. Now, that last symbol I've not seen before. I'm making the inference that that is the number 9. Because it is the only one we haven't seen before. Right? Out of all the others, we've seen, like, all of them. We've seen 1, so we know 1 to 8, and we know 10. So, my guessing is that's 9. It might be wrong. And, yeah, this is my proof here. See, those two have got, that's 1 with a dot, that's 10. And that's 4 with a dot, which is 40, so it'd be 10, 40. So, that's where, again, I'm sort of inferring that I think I know how this numbering system works. I've only written down 1 to 10, because I don't know how, like, I don't know how 11, if, like, 11 works, if it is, a 10 and then a 1. I don't know if that's what 11 means, or not. So I'm leaving that for now, because I could technically write, like, 11 to whatever, and keep counting. Wouldn't be much of a point for it, but I need some kind of inference of what a, like, an 11, a 12, or a 21 looks like, you know, those sorts of numbers. Because I don't think we've got any in here. I think they are just numbers next to each other, because I think that one is 1... No, sorry, not 1. That says 8, 1, 6. I think this is 8, 16, I think. That third one in the list, that's all in the the Ghalahanti, like, numbers. I think that's... So, I think it is just numbers next to each other, but I don't know. Yeah, see, look, shaft 9. I think that's shaft 9. I'm not 100% sure. Oh, yeah, and then I talk about how... well, I did talk about how there's the door to this little box right here, but you can't go in it. It just doesn't... it's right there, but you can't open it. It just doesn't work. I just thought that was a bit odd. Right, and then we head into the Ghalahanti craft, station. Now, big spoilers, everybody. Nothing happens in here. I press some buttons, nothing happens. And then I leave. That's about it, because I do have a quick... Yeah, I was going to say, I think I looked for the lever again, try and pull this lever, but I think that lever's missing, and I can't seem to... There isn't, like, the symbol, like, I can put something in there. I do try. Maybe then I can use the knife as, like, a makeshift lever. I'm starting to think we can't interact with this one at all. I could be wrong, but that's my current assumption. And then if I'm being smart about this, considering how much time is left in this recording, which I think is only a couple more minutes, yeah, I go into the big bit, whatever this is called, and I go uplift. I do discover you can get quite a nice view. That is a really nice screenshot, and I kind of want it. I might come back and grab it, because I can kind of make my mouse disappear. Not quite, but... I can probably record and not capture my cursor, and probably grab the screenshot that way if I needed to, but yeah, we go into the big building in the middle, and we have a bit of, I just try and regather my bearings. Now, this way, in case you forget, is where we were after the cutscene played when we came in there the first time. I'm pretty sure. We go to the middle, there is an elevator shaft, and looky look, it's got a keyhole on it. I wonder if the spare key works for that one. Oh, look, it does. So, yeah, we get access to a new elevator that we couldn't access before here, which allows us to go all the way to the top. But I decide to go walk the other way because I want to double check something. That's just the way in. That's the way we came in. Yep, not very interesting. And then I think I look for other doors, just to see if there is any other places I can go in here before I go, like, up the lift. I think that's what I'm thinking. I walk down here for a little bit, but I don't really... Well, I say I try. It doesn't let you. You can't go any further than this. For some reason, I'm not sure why. There is a button to press there. I don't bother having a look at that, do I? But I do press the button, which does close that door, which I then try and keep walking, but I still can't. So you just can't go that way, apparently. There's a poster here that shows the Neyyah Site 28 sectors, camera, elevator, HQ lab, and whatever the other one was, because I didn't read it in time, because I can be slow sometimes. Right, and then, I'm pretty sure the only bit that's left, because I am getting... Okay, this recording's longer than I thought it was. I thought it was supposed to be like an hour 18. I'm like nearly an hour 20 already. But yeah, elevator. We get to go up the elevator because that's what you do when you're in an elevator. And it takes us to a little small room at the very top. I say small. It's not small. It's like a command center or something because there's a big chair in it. Now, spoilers for the last couple minutes. This is where the episode ends. I don't really do too much exploring in here because I kind of wanted to say I knew how long the video was starting to get. I kind of wanted to leave stuff in here for next time, you know. We do find some interesting like paintings that have been done on the wall, and I really like them. I think they're done well. Yes, I realise I'm getting a bit too into the weeds when I do that. So, I believe I think I just find a good place to stand and then I end after a little preliminary walk around. We can go jellyfish fishing with that. Is it jellyfishing? No, it's jellyfish. To jellyfish fields. I don't know, man. SpongeBob. A show I have not watched in years, but I keep seeing like videos of like how I don't know if you've seen them, of the like how long would the Mr. Krabs prison sentence be and stuff like that. But yeah, some very interesting drawings that have been put on the wall. But this episode ends here. I hope to see you all in episode 7, that will hopefully be less scuffed and without the dubbing after the fact.